to knit one, sip two. What are you drinking?
I am drinking the Lazy Man's cocktail.
Ooh.
It's absolute vodka soda, grapefruit, and rosemary.
Nice.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I've also got a Diet Coke and a LaCroix. Like I've got all the things.
I've got my Kirkland version of LaCroix. So yeah. And I'm drinking Chardonnay, and I can't remember who this is by. It's a black label and it's bourbon barrel aged. I want to say Kendall Jackson, but I don't think that's right.
How is the bourbon barrel aged? That doesn't sound good in Chardonnay to me.
It's actually, I mean, I like barrel aged. I like the oak. So that's why I tried it. And it's actually good. I mean, I like those rich, buttery flavors. So I tried it and it was like, well, let's see. It was pretty good. So anyway, cool. What you been up to?
Did you said knit one, sip two. I'm Jeanette.
Oh, that's right. And I'm Joan. Go ahead.
I am Nettie Keys on Ravelry and Instagram. My Instagram's private, but if you have a knitting thing in your profile, then I'll accept the request. So that's
And I'm Units, YU knits in Ravelry, and knit one, sip two on Instagram.
And we are based in the Monterey area of California, where we've been basically on lockdown for a year, and it's just now starting to lift.
Open up, yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Cecilia's been in person. She's been Zooming her classes along with 10 of her freshman buddies in the high school library. So that's been kind of nice because they've been able to have some social interaction, and that's transitioning in 3 weeks, which is the first day after spring break. It's transitioning to in person. So all of the freshmen and sophomores came in for an orientation yesterday afternoon, and all of the juniors and seniors came in today, and all the kids, they've got tents set up so that they've got all these eating areas. And I guess for the most part, teachers will be back teaching in person. Everybody will be wearing masks, but I'm looking.
And I think they've been vaccinated, so that's
hopefully
good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to what that's going to bring for the kids. I mean, it's going to be like 7 weeks of school left, but it's something. The freshmen are going to hurry, or the seniors are going to hurry up and do, juniors will hurry up and do the ring week and cake auction and all of the hurry up and get some of those, traditions checked off. But it'll be something. It'll be good for them. So, and Cecilia's got her first competition, her first dance competition this weekend.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's going to be up in, for those of you that are interested in my daughter's dance life, it's up in San Francisco at the Palace of Fine Arts. And we just got the schedule today. So she's doing her 2 solos and her team dance. This is just classical on Sunday. So she's thankfully getting that all out of the way. We don't have to stay in a hotel. She's doing it all in one day. Parents can't watch, but they're going to have closed captions. So we'll all be sitting outside, huddled in a few different cars with masks on, watching our iPads. So,
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Closer to normal.
Yeah.
My niece, Amy, Amy, who went to Stitches with us, her daughter won the Wisconsin State Gymnastics Championship in the floor routine. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Yeah.
That's phenomenal. For the whole state, she's number 1.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you say college scholarship? What year is she? What grade is she?
I think she's in 7th grade.
Okay.
So
that's awesome. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So now she goes to regionals.
That's great.
I know. I'm so happy for her. And Amy's become quite the sock knitter.
Really?
Yeah. She's into knitting socks, and I think she knits them on like size 0s or something crazy.
Oh God.
Yeah. I was like, no.
Well, it's funny because I was, I needed a stitch holder for a sleeve, and you know how much I like those stitch holders that are kind of like a needle with a little rubber stopper on the end.
Yeah.
Well, I were there in another project, so I went and looked for some old, small, circular needles, and was, and I'll show you. It's like, this is one of them. I was like, oh my God, what the hell did I ever knit with that? It's so small.
Oh, I have a pair of
What am I
those.
thinking?
Yeah, and they're the cord is very stiff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, but it's perfect for a stitch holder. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of knitting, that
Yes.
is what we do. What are you wearing?
That wasn't a hint. My sleeve is actually falling down. I feel like it's coming off the shoulder. So this grew. This is the Isabel Kramer. Am I gonna be able to do it from memory? Neve. Made out of Plucky Knitter Primo Sport in Bohemian Blue, I think it is.
No, it's beautiful.
I learned something. You would think after what I've been knitting since I was in my early 20s, so that was a really long time ago. You'd think that I would have most of the rules down, but I don't. So I have learned from this that I really do need to start blocking and washing my swatches. I mean, my mother never even blocked a bloody sweater. She would knit them, they would come off the needles and they'd be on my back. That was it. So I don't understand. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I don't even think she gauged. She did a gauge swatch. But anyway, so this after blocking kind of grew. I mean, like it's really like my sleeves are really, really long.
I like it though. I like it. I mean, I'm not wearing it, but it's like comfy and sweatshirtish, and it looks good, Joan.
I think I was looking for something that was going to be a little bit more like where to work. And I was even thinking, if it really bothers me, this could be a staking project. We could just steek it right down the middle and, sew it in or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But I like it. I think it looks really good.
So I'm just, all my friends that are shorter than me say, oh, that's the normal length of sleeves. And I'm not used to that. So, but that being said, I have to say, the only thing that confused me about this pattern, and again, this goes along with my learning difference of not reading all the way. There was something interesting in the ribbing where I did a knit 2 purl 1 and she had to do a purl 1 knit 2, or no, it's the same thing. She had to do I did a knit 2 purl 1, she did a purl 2 knit 1. So it was like it was like this. And I ended up doing it like that. I felt like this was kind of really too loose, but had I read a little farther, she wanted you to do this kind of funky thing where you dropped several stitches and then picked up, like you drop several rows of your purl or something and then knit one up or something. I didn't do it for one, and I didn't realize that that's what she wanted you to do for the other. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to do it, but maybe I'll try it on another sweater. So, but that was really the only thing. I mean, I have to say it's a nice basic V-neck, considering its fingering. Did I say Primo Sport? I meant Primo fingering. Considering its fingering, I managed to get it done pretty quickly. Not a lot of pooling, little bit.
No, did you alternate skeins?
I did alternate, but not until I think like down to here.
So no, it looks good.
But not a lot of pooling. So, but like I said, it's a little oversized for me, but it's fine. So, but yeah, and it's comfortable. I mean, I love their Primo, which let me see if this is one of them. Yes, Bohemian Blue Primo fingering. So it's 75/25 merino. What's SW merino?
Superwash.
Okay, there we go. Merino cashmere nylon. And you know how itchy sensitive I am, this is not itchy. It's so nice. So comfortable. And that's all I had left.
Oh, nice.
And I think I had 5 skeins. So, yeah, this might find its way into I don't know if this would be enough to use for a yoke design.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Pretty.
Anyway,
It's a beautiful color.
it really is. I really like it. So anyway, how about you? What are you wearing?
Oh, I am wearing my no frills. I've worn it before on the podcast. I think it's no frills pullover by Petite Knit.
Mhm.
It's here. Let me give you the
Hold it,
boob
double.
shot. It's knit out of Neighborhood Fiber Company, Rustic Fingering, and Rowan Kid Case. It's
Did you get that
super.
last year? Stitches?
Yes, I bought the I had the Kid Case in my stash forever. I mean, like forever, like 10 years.
Right.
And then I bought the purplish blue kind of fingering at Stitches West 2020.
Oh, that seems like so long ago.
I know. So this is super comfy, easy to knit. I think I did a twisted rib on the cuff, but other than that, I followed the pattern. Yeah, easy, top down raglan. So that's good. Yeah, so I am wearing that. I can't remember what month I finished it in.
I vaguely remember you wearing it last time.
Yeah.
Showing it.
I've definitely worn it before. I had a different sweater on, but I got cold. So
yeah. So what else have you finished?
Not much. I have lots of whips, but not many finished. I finished a pair of shorty socks for my sister Christy in Wisconsin, and I sent those to her already. So good. I have a picture on my Ravelry page. They were just simple shorty socks with a heel flap and gusset out of yarn from Lolo Did It, which was the Cheeseheads colorway. My sister's a Green Bay Packers fan and an Oakland A's fan, and they have the same colors. So so I knit, I think the toes are yellow and the cuffs are green, and then the Cheeseheads color in between. So I sent her those. And that is the only thing I finished. Other than that, I've just been working on whips.
Well, then show us a whip.
Let's see. My first whip is my oldest whip, but I pulled it. Well, not my oldest, but
one of these days we're gonna actually pull out real whips. Look.
Yeah. Right. But I pulled it out I want to finish this. This is the Cipolla sweater.
Oh, that's turning out great.
Yeah, and this is the yarn that I dyed. So it's coming out. It's blue. I don't know what color it's coming out. It's a very dark navy, and then this color. Yeah. So the pattern calls for color work like halfway down the sleeve. Right. And I had already decided from the get-go that I wasn't going to do that. And so then I thought I would just do color work at the very, very end. Yeah. But I just decided, no, I didn't want that. I just wanted it to be blue. I'm short and I have short arms, and I just didn't want the hassle. So I have one more sleeve to go. Yay. Yay. And then I'll be done with that. So that's exciting.
Wait, show the color work again. Let me see the color work again, because that looks so good. I mean, I have to say that when you've shown it to us up until now, I haven't been able to appreciate it, but now it looks great.
Well, thank you.
It really does. What's that yarn, that rose colored?
I dyed it.
I thought you dyed the purple.
I dyed them both.
Oh.
Yeah, I dyed them both. And
I don't think I remember that.
Originally, I dyed just this one. Well, no, I think I dyed this one as like an experiment. And I was like, yeah, what the heck, I'll just learn how, I don't know how to do this, so I'm just learning.
Right.
And then I dyed this one, and I was gonna make a sweater just out of this. That was the idea. But then I saw the two together and I was like, oh, I actually kind of like them
It looks
together.
great. So
Yeah,
what are you going to do to keep the dyes from running?
I'm gonna block it with this one won't run. This one might, because it's very saturated with dye.
Okay.
And even though I rinsed it 10 bazillion times, I have color catchers, and I'm gonna put a color catcher in there. I also, might soak it in vinegar, but yeah. So that's
the color catcher.
I think the color catcher will work.
Okay.
It hasn't come off on my hands, so that's a good sign.
That's great. Then you're probably way far ahead.
Yeah. I rinsed it a ton. I mean, honestly, that super saturated color was way more work than the other color.
You were saying you went through a ton of water.
Yeah. So I rinsed it over and over and over and over, to try to get all of that dye out. It just, yeah, it took a lot of dye. So
good. All right.
It was fun. Yeah. How about you?
Well, so Warren and the girls a few years ago bought me some Woolfolk Far, and I think the other one is Tind, Tynd, that I was going to make a shawl out of, whose name I can't remember. But you were supposed to hold two together, and I had been craving a white shawl just because I thought, a simple, elegant white shawl would go with everything. And I started knitting it, and it didn't feel as light and lofty and fluffy as I thought it would. And then as I was knitting it, I'm also looking at, why the heck am I holding these two yarns together? It's not like one is adding all that much to the other yarn. They looked pretty similar. So I just was like, forget it. I'm going to put this down, reevaluate. So I reevaluated finally 3 years later. And I started knitting the Justina, what's her name? Justina Lorkowska Flaum.
Oh, I love that sweater. I've loved that sweater for years.
Okay, so it is, I've been admiring it for years, and I've swatched several yarns to make this pattern, but it always looked to me like it needed to be this lofty, light cloud-like fabric. And I wasn't getting it out of any of the yarns. And I did go on there, and a lot of people have knit it out of the Far. And I just, and you know what? The other thing is that it calls for fisherman's rib, which basically it's easy as pie. You just poke into the stitch below the knit and knit that one, and then drop off the one above it off your needle. It's not that hard. So don't let that intimidate you, but it's coming out nicely. I'm hoping it's going to be wide enough, because all the reviews I read were, oh my gosh, I started knitting the size that I thought I was going to be, and it was too big, so I ripped back. So I was like, all right, let me knit, I was kind of in between, and I was like, let me knit the smaller of the two. So I'm hoping that this is going to fit me, because these are the sleeves.
Beautiful.
And that's the back. So hopefully it's going to fit me. Now, the downside. So this was first published, and I don't know if I'm going to say it right. Jeanette, you might be familiar with it. And I want to say Amarisu, but I don't think that's right. Amisu, which is a Japanese.
No, I think you were right the first time. Amarisu.
Because they have a squirrel in there, and I think the squirrel takes the place of the R. So it's Amarisu, I believe. The spelling is Amisu, I think, or Amisru. So they're Japanese pattern and yarn company, and they produce pattern books a couple times, like there's usually a spring and a fall. So this was in, I think the 8th or 5th, I can't remember, edition. And they're like up to 15 plus now. And it has errata. So when you buy the pattern, when you look at the pattern on Ravelry, you know, like just the, you know, if you're trying to decide if you want to buy the pattern or not, they have a link that you can click on to take you to the errata, but it doesn't take you to the errata. It takes you nowhere. So then you buy the pattern and they have a link in the pattern that is supposed to take you to a place where it talks about the different techniques and abbreviations. So it's quite frustrating because you can't find, it's very, very difficult to find the errata. And I finally stumbled on it by one night, just kind of being persistent, finally finding, you know, I think what I did is I cut and paste the link into my browser, and then I kind of truncated until I came across something. And then in little print, it said errata. And so I clicked on that and I found it. I even went through the blog things about this pattern on Ravelry, and there were a ton of people that were like, I can't find the errata, and I paid all this money for this pattern and I can't find it, and this pattern is useless, and what does it mean, and blah, blah, blah. So it's a little frustrating. They don't really give you sizing guidelines. Like a lot of patterns these days will say, you know, worn with 3.5 inches of positive ease, and the waddle's wearing the size medium, 26-inch waist, you know, whatever. Nothing. So no direction as to sizing. Was very difficult. Finally, I when I found it, I posted on all the message boards about this pattern. I posted where people could find the errata. And even the errata is missing some stuff. And then somebody on the message board ended up messaging the author, and she said, sorry, I have no control over it. And so basically what this means is if you want to test your skills at, I think what I should do here is this, and I'm not really sure if it's going to work, but let's try it, then this is a pattern for you. At one point they have had me make, instead of it being an M1PL, it's an MP1L. So instead of like make one purl left, it's make purl one left, which I'm guessing is a make one purl left, but it doesn't make sense. You know, they fixed that problem in the errata that was in one part, but there was another part that they have you do it, and it doesn't make any sense as to why they have you do it. So again, I'm kind of using my critical thinking skills, which sometimes are lacking these days, to figure it out. And I'm hoping that it doesn't end up in a wad in the corner of my room. So we'll see. But you know, so far so good. Do you have any experience with lifelines?
Not much, but just, you know, I think I've used them occasionally.
How do you put in a lifeline?
I have just taken a piece of yarn and run it through a tapestry needle and put it on that way.
So what do? Do you run it through a certain, like all the stitches in just a row?
Yeah.
Partway through?
Yeah.
So
and then
you
just keep knitting.
So do you run it through all the stitches while all those stitches are on your needle?
That's what I've done, but I'm sure there are other ways.
Okay. If anybody knows of any other ways, message me. Just because I've never used a lifeline before. Several people have posted, oh, I'm so glad I had a lifeline, or oh crap, I didn't use one and I should have. And I am the queen of making a mistake, and because, you know, we all know I don't read directions ahead. I only read as I go. So I'm thinking I'm gonna need one, and it's not a bad idea. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, is put in a lifeline. The other question I have is, and this might be something for you and I to talk about offline, but I have to put in short rows, and they want you to wrap and turn, and I'm wondering, can I substitute the German short row for it?
You absolutely can. You just have to adjust you have to knit one more than it says. So if it says, knit 6, wrap and turn, you have to knit 7, because the way the wrap and turn works, you're adding a stitch. So to end up the same, you have to knit one more. So because all you're doing is pulling that stitch over the needle rather than slipping one or whatever you do with a wrap and turn.
Sure. Okay.
So I substitute all the time. German short rows are my favorite. And
yes,
so
that's what I'm asking you.
Always use. I just adjust. So if it says, knit 6, wrap and turn, I knit 7, do the German short row.
Okay, so knit, all right, wait, I want to make a note. So just add one more. One more stitch.
Because the wrap and turn, you have to slip the stitch. And so, with the German short row, you don't do that. So that's that you're making up for that.
Right. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do because you've won me over to German short rows. There was another, there was another one that, I did in my modern wrapper, another short row method where you clipped part of the stitch.
Japanese short rows.
Okay. And I clip my German short rows just because it kind of helps me identify where I'm at.
Yeah, sometimes they're hard to find.
They are. So I'm too much of a nervous Nelly. So I just clip them. But I was wondering if the Japanese short row would be a better choice for this. They're pretty close. They're pretty similar.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I mean, they're not that much different. I don't think you need to add a stitch if you do the Japanese short rows because you're lifting up from the bottom, I think so. That's right. An extra stitch. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think they're all interchangeable, really. It's just a matter of adjusting.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so that's my latest
machine.
It's, you know what? I have a goal. My goal is 1 sweater per month. I don't know how that's going to translate to the summer. Because this summer I'm committed to starting my Christmas socks. I'm going to make everybody, the family, another set of Christmas socks for next year. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to I might have to do like 1 per cold weather month.
Yeah. Or you can do, a short sleeve summery sweater.
Well, and that's to be discussed later on in the episode. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, you just start the you don't do the fisherman's knitting or fisherman's ribbing all the way. You start it part way. So, but I don't want to give too much of the pattern away.
Well, and who doesn't need an off-white little cardi, right?
Well, that's the thing. And I bought some other far online that was significantly discounted because the color is being discontinued and it's a dark brown. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll knit it out of that. But then when I swatched, because I have more of this, when I swatched the cream, I was like, you know what? Who can't use a cream colored cardigan?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Exactly.
But if it comes out good, I might have to knit a second one, but I just hope that back fits me.
Well, worst case scenario, you rip back.
I hope not. Well, I already had to rip back once because the way the pattern was written. Okay, this is something everybody needs to know if they want to do this. The way the errata wasn't even written well. That's the other thing, because they make it sound like in the errata that all you're doing is increasing for the back at a certain point. So you increase for the sleeves every other row and every other right side row, and you increase for the back every right side row. After I did all my increases and I got to where I needed to be, oh, well, lo and behold, I didn't have enough sleeve stitches because I was only increasing every other row for the sleeve. So even the errata was like, so anyway, so I'm hoping I don't have to rip back again.
Yeah, it's really lovely.
I might have to try this on when we finish podcasting to see, am I ripping back again? But anyway, so do you have anything? What's your whip?
Well, my other whip is my City Limits sweater, which I think I showed before. It needs sleeves.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is a pattern by Tanis Lavallee. And it was really fun to knit, but it's very big. It's like a sweatshirt, and it's two fingering weight and mohair. So it is warm. It is going to be so warm.
Yeah.
So it needs sleeves, but yeah, that's
nice.
I really want to get that going. So it was like a fade.
Yeah.
It was, like I said, it was fun to knit, but I don't know how practical it is in this weather. And I want to get the sleeves done. I'm going to knit them 2 at a time.
Oh.
And, yeah. And I want to get them done before I forget what I've done. If I wait too long, I'm not going to remember
the fade.
Yeah, exactly. So
that just means that if you don't remember the fade, you get it wrong, you're going to have to walk around like this all the time.
Yeah.
So that your arms aren't like, we can't see the.
Yeah, so it's pretty big. It might be a little bit long. It's like a sweatshirt. I mean, that's what it's going to be like. And I can wear it next winter, but I don't want to leave it hanging too long without sleeves.
Sure.
Because, yeah, otherwise I'll forget. So I want to finish my Sibylla sleeve, and then I got to get going on that one. And then, do you want me to keep going or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm knitting the world's ugliest socks.
Is that the name of the pattern, or is that your judgment?
Oh no, that's my judgment.
Okay.
So my son's birthday is coming up, and when he was here, he bought me some yarn a year or 2 ago, and I was like, and I know he doesn't watch this, so it's okay to say, I was like, holy crap, this is the ugliest yarn. I think maybe I'll give it away.
Yeah.
I'll put it in a Goodwill bin. He bought it from Simply Socks, and I thought, maybe his monitor was off. I don't know.
Or it was on sale.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
No. So, I mean, to each his own, right? Someone likes it. So when he was here at Christmas, I said, I've only ever knit you 1 pair of socks, and I'm going to knit you another pair. Here are like 5 different yarn choices. Choose one of these. And he said, I really like this one, the one that he bought. I think it is the world's ugliest yarn. So here it is.
Oh God. That reminds me of that acrylic yarn in Beverly's. No offense to anybody that knits with acrylic. But
I mean, somebody likes it. So it's, let me see, where's the camera? There we go. So you can't really tell on the camera, but it's got like maroon and dark blue and dark green, but all you really see is this bright yellow and bright white.
Oh my God.
So it kind of reminds me of like Hogwarts or something.
Yes.
But anyway, so this sock is the vanilla is the new black. Is that what it's called? Yeah, vanilla is the new black sock, I think. Yeah. And so I knit it mostly on 9-inch circulars, and I just have to have my husband try it on and see, because they have my husband's feet are slightly smaller, so then I have to figure out how much more to go. The cuff is the yarn that I dyed, that dark blue. So yeah, so
I vote for a neon toe.
Yeah, I haven't decided what to do for the toe. I don't think I have quite the bright yellow. The yellow is very bright.
But see, Jeanette, that's almost worth going out and buying bright yellow. Like that, is just, I don't know. I think,
I mean,
no, you know
look
what?
at that.
I challenge our viewers, if anybody has that bright yellow, they
I
have to send it
mean,
to Jeanette, just enough for a toe.
right? Is that not the, I mean, it
Oh
is,
my God.
yeah, it is. I won't even say the yarn dyer, they're not in business anymore because I feel like I've trashed.
Well, there's a reason for that.
I just feel like it's ugly. It's just ugly. I mean, to each his own,
God.
right?
Yeah.
Obviously, he likes it. So
No, I
he bought
challenge
it
our
for me,
viewers.
and I'm making socks out of it for him. So he
right,
chose
so-
it.
So you have to hold off knitting the toe until, can you hold off until after, like, give it like a week and a half, 2 weeks until after
Well,
he
his
this?
birthday's April 5th. So
Oh,
yeah, I think I'm just gonna do the same blue that I dyed for the toe and keep it
Oh.
simple. And
Gary's got to hurry up and get this up so that if people have that yellow in their stash, they can send it to you.
I know that Hedgehog makes like a very bright yellow called like egg yolk or something that would be perfect, but I'm just gonna go with what I have. And I have a million minis, like way too many minis. I don't
There's
even
got to be like a hideous mini out there you could use. There's got to be.
So yeah, so that's another whip. I should be able to finish the toe tonight or as soon as Gary tries it on. Blue sweater, green sweater. Yeah, and then I swatched for my super simple summer sweater, but I'll you go.
Okay, well, speaking of super simple summer sweater, I meant to look to see if we had any other joiners on Ravelry. I forgot to look.
I know my sister's doing it, Dina, in Tucson.
We had a lot of people say episode before last that they wanted to do it, but then I haven't seen those people sign up unless I missed
And then
something. Kim said she's in the middle of doing hers.
Hers is gorgeous. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it really is nice.
Oh, that looks great.
You know,
Where'd you go?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the green. It's just, I don't know. I think that if it was peach or pink or blue, I'd be happier, but so I don't know. I think that's what's keeping, I'm like, it's going really, really fast.
Yeah, it's a fast knit.
But see, this is another teeny weeny needle that I'm using as a stitch. Like, look at that little sucker. I mean, lordy bee. Anyway, so it's going really, really fast, which is great, but I'm not motivated to do it because I'm like, I'm not sure how much I'm going to wear this.
Oh, you know what? I thought the same thing when I was knitting mine. And you know, I'm not a pink person, and I knitted mine in pink and off-white.
Yeah.
I love that sweater. It is so comfy. I wear it all the time.
So maybe I'll,
you know, I think
change my
you don't
mind.
know until you get it off the needles. I think it's going to be good.
well, so, but this has inspired me. I want to do the, you know, the Andrea Mowry, can't remember the name of the pattern, but it's a whole bunch of different color stripes.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted, it's a lot like this, only thinner stripes.
Yeah.
I bought, excuse me, that Plucky Bellow years ago and made a shawl, and I ripped it out, frogged it because I didn't like the shawl, but I think it'd make a beautiful striped sweater. So that's what this has inspired me to move on to do that. And I could even maybe add a little blue to it, but I don't know if the blue will go. I think
you're gonna like that more than, you know, just gotta,
we'll see. I like the pattern. The pattern's really, it's refreshing because it is so easy.
yeah.
My only other issue is I don't know which is the front and which is the back.
I know, right?
And I think I've hit the short row section. I don't remember. So yeah, that's my only other thing is I'm not sure which is the front, but otherwise, yeah. So that's my only other whip.
What size needles are you knitting it on? Because the gauge is funky. The gauge is like 17 and a half inches on a size 6 needle.
Well,
I can't get that gauge on a size 6 needle.
It's a size 6. But that being said, it's a size 6, but I don't know if that's what my gauge is, because you know me, I'll like go up or down a size based on So,
Yeah.
oh, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm glad you said that because I think it was it BC Grandma? Somebody posted on our group chat about this, that she was having a hard time getting gauge.
Yes.
And I just said, just go up or down a size based on your gauge. Like, okay, so for those of you that have never done that, you measure it. If you're getting 15 stitches to the inch,
Or
right?
to the 4 inches.
Well,
Not
excuse me,
an
15 stitches to 4. So let's do something that's more 20. Let's say you're getting 20 stitches instead of 17. 20 stitches to 4 inches, right? So that means 5 stitches to the inch, right? You figure out how wide you want your garment to be, right? So let's say you want it to be 30 inches, you know, in the bust. Then you, all right, Jeanette, take over. Then you.
Now, what I do is I look at the sizes, and
Yeah.
I just did this on this pattern and said, okay, you know, the finished number of stitches is 200 stitches, for instance.
Right.
Divided by my gauge, which was 5 stitches to the inch, then I'm going to end up with a 39-inch sweater or whatever. And so I take the number of stitches based on the sizes that are already, you know, the number of stitches when you're down below the sleeves, so that you're, you know, full on the number of stitches. And then that's what I do. So then I, like, when I knit mine before, I knit the stitch count of the size medium to end up with a size small.
Right. So how do I do it? I think I do it a little differently. What I do is I figure out how many stitches I'm going to have in an inch. And then I figure out I want a 30-inch garment, let's say. And then I figure out which, I don't remember. I have to actually.
Yeah, same, but different. I mean, it's just looking at it from the opposite.
Right. And yes. And then I figure out which one is 30 inches. And then that's how many stitches I have to have. Yeah. And then I figure out, yes, same thing, but opposite. You're right. I can't do this and have a glass of wine. I'm like, oh.
I know, right?
I get to a point where it's like all of a sudden there's a roadblock.
So I swatched for mine, and I'm not getting gauge at all. I'll show you. It's so I mean, you won't see the difference, but the bottom is on a size 6 and the top is on a size 7. So I mean, you can kind of see the difference, right, in how open it is versus the size 6. I think I like the 6 better. Mm-hmm. And the gauge, the stitch count isn't that much different. So I don't know.
You're gonna do the top one?
No, I think I'm gonna do the bottom one, and I'm gonna do a bigger size to get my size. Okay, so show your swatch again and show us your little trick for keeping track of what size needle you're doing on your swatch, because I see. Oh yeah, I mean, there are all kinds of those little tricks. So I just did some purl stitches to show me. I did the number of purl stitches, so 7 here and 6 here, so that when I go back to visit it in 6 months, I won't think, what did you do? What size needles did you use? And see, my trick is very similar but different. I've got, this was on a 3 because I did 3 yarn overs, but then you have to remember to knit 2 together for every yarn over you do. Yeah. And then here I did 4 yarn overs. And so I know I did that on a size 4. I had never known to do that up until a few years ago. I was like, duh. I was always messing with like these little tags and writing it down. And this is so much easier because you'll never lose the tag. It's always there. And I always tell myself I'm going to remember. I'm going to start a swatch library. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually block these because I have this one. And this was one of the things I wanted to talk about today. So I have this, which is my Magpie Swanky DK. And then I have this, which is the Yin and Yang from Fiber Studio? Loop Fibers.
Oh, I have to talk about fiber, what is it? Fiber something. I wrote it down. The fiber company. I have to talk about that. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to block all of these, and I want to put them in like a little 3-ring binder or something, and put notes with them, so that way the next time I go to knit with this yarn, I don't have to swatch.
Yeah.
I've got, everything I need. And it'll be that much faster. So that's what I'm going to do. But going back to the fiber company, they put together kits for the super simple summer sweater.
Oh, that's cool. What yarn?
So, oh gosh, I don't know. I saw it on Instagram that they're giving away a kit, and I reposted it in my story. So for those, and I said that I would give them a shout out. So for those of you wanting to join our knit along, you can go there and try their yarn and join us. So, because they've got kits.
Yeah, so anyone who watched the last podcast knows that this was my blue, which is not exactly navy. It's called Hope. It's Barocco Modern Cotton.
I like that.
Joan and I are both knitting it out of the same yarn. And I think I like how this is going to knit up. And so originally, let me just go.
It's going to look very nautical, Jeanette.
Yes. So my original yarn was this color, which is kind of the taupey gray, and it did not spark joy. I'm telling you, like, I looked at the two together, and I was last podcast, I was like, oh, I'll make it work, and then I got it out, and I was like, oh, this looks like a football team.
Where'd you get it from?
What's that?
Where'd you get it from?
Wool and Company. And then I ordered this. This is just their like off-white color, and I like this combination much better.
It looks so nice.
Yeah, it's much better. And I bought the off-white from Jimmy Bean's Wool, which has amazing service. They have such great service.
They really do. That's
so yeah, that's my super simple summer sweater, and hopefully I'll be able to get it started soon. But I get like stressed out if I have too many sweaters on the needles, and so I really feel like I want to finish the Cipolla and then at least start the sleeves of the green sweater. What's our deadline for the
I think May 1st. I think we push it back.
Okay, so I should be fine with that.
Yeah, you've got time.
I think the super simple summer sweater goes pretty fast.
It does. It goes really fast. So like I said, I think I'd be much farther along if I was more inspired, but I might have to end up buying a peach or a pink or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm trying to resist frogging it and getting a different color, but
I mean, it's a great sweater. I think, even if you don't ever wear it out of the house, and you will, I bet you will.
Right.
But I love mine, and I'm not a pink person. So
yeah. Oh, but you look good in pink.
Yeah. I mean, but it was like kind of a rosy pink. It wasn't exactly the pink that I thought it was, because I ordered it online. And so it's fine. It's fine. But I really like the sweater. The fit of the sweater is good, and I like it. So.
Okay. So yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So I have one other thing.
Yes.
So remember back when people were traveling, my sister went to Japan and she bought me all of these yarns from from Walnut. What's the name of the place? Wait a minute. Avril in Japan. And basically their whole thing is they take multiple, I don't know, I want to call them threads almost. They're like lace weight yarns, and they pull them all together and put them on cones. So this is one of the cones she bought me, and I just think it's such a pretty blue.
It is, yeah.
Screaming at me like Chanel style jacket or summer sweater, whatever. So I started swatching it, and I think this is going to be like the first summer sweater after the simple summer sweater that I might knit. This was done on a 3. But I think
That's beautiful.
it's so pretty.
Yeah.
I'm like
Very
so
pretty.
happy with it. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna try going up to a 4 and maybe a 5. The only problem is I think she got me, I want to say she got me like 1,500 yards, which should be enough for at least, I mean, this doesn't look like 1,500, but maybe it's tight. It's really tightly, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm hoping it's enough for at least a short sleeve sweater,
Mhm.
summer sweater, you know, like pullover.
Yeah.
Any idea, any thoughts?
Well, I just have been looking at them because I'm trying to figure out how to spend my Pearl Soho gift card. And there's anyway, so there's one called, I think it's called Over the Top that I really liked.
Pullover?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
It's
write
in
that
my
down.
favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at so there's a few. There's Birdseed, which is nice, but it's got a pattern in the yoke. You know, like just a stitch pattern, and I think that would get lost in this.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need us to, I mean, like the yarns,
No.
I think speak.
Right.
enough.
Right. So anyway, I don't know. So I don't know. I might just do a simple t-shirt. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, check out the Pearl Soho patterns
I
too.
will.
There's a couple simple t-shirts.
I always forget about them, and they do have good patterns. And they
Yeah,
also have
they do.
really good, that's where I got the fisherman's rib tutorial thingy, was from them. They have
Yeah.
really, really good, clear, and they don't have like all that talking in the front. Like when I watch how to do something, I want to like get to it. Not, this is a needle, this is the thread. It's like, oh, just get to it. Anyway. Wait, there was something else that sparked in my head. Oh, summer. Oh, I was online shopping again this weekend. All right. So do you remember me talking about Annie and Company?
Yeah.
So Annie and Company is a yarn and needlepoint store out of Manhattan, and they did the whole Super Bowl Sunday sale or Super Bowl weekend sale. So this month they did a spring cleaning sale where every morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time, they would post on Instagram a new yarn or two that they were putting on deep discount. And so I bought a little bit. And then to wrap the whole thing up this weekend, they had a whole bunch of yarns that they did live streaming. And the gal was really great. She shows you the yarn. She talks about what's in the yarn. She shows the sign that shows what's in the yarn and the original cost, and then what they're putting on discount for. I bought some Shabui Rain, which has been discontinued. It's originally like $20. I can't remember what I paid for it, but I think I paid like $5 a skein.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, this thing is, they're crazy. They don't have a lot of indie dyers. Like at Super Bowl Sunday sale, they had a little bit of Three Irish Girls and Madeline Tosh. So most of their stuff is like lots of Lana Gross, Queens Island. Oh
yeah, Queensland. Yeah, I think it's
Queensland. They have quite a bit of that. There's somebody else and I can't, it's escaping me right now. In the Super Bowl Sunday one, lots of Noro. So they have lots of what I call manufacturing, like larger manufacturing companies. But they like $2 a ball or $2 a skein or $3 a skein. Like the most I saw was for like $7. Huge discounts. So I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face because this means there's going to be a lot of competition the next time they're having a sale. But amazing sales, amazing sales. So anyway, I bought some Shibui and then I bought 2 others, and they had a whole bunch of stuff that was cotton and linen blends and stuff like that. So I bought 3 different yarns. I bought this, and now I'm like addicted. So I bought this Barocco Nomad. I think I showed it last time. This stuff is so soft, and I got 5 skeins, and now I think I'm gonna go and buy a few more so I can knit myself. I was gonna originally knit Cecilia leg warmers, but now I'm like, oh no, I want a sweater. This is so nice and soft. So I might.
What sweater would you knit?
I don't know yet. It's like a bulky, and I'm torn because here's my issue. I knit these nice, warm, comfy sweaters, and I cannot wear them to work because when I go to work, God bless Heather, she turns the heat on, and then I'm like, I've always been cold up until my later years, and I'm like, I put my hair up, I'm sweating. Like a mess. So part of me is like, oh, I want to knit a really like a what's that one? It was all the rage a year or so ago, and it's kind of like a big comfy sweater, and it's got like a turtleneck. Grocery Girls did it. It's been in my queue forever. Anyway, so I was thinking something like that, but then I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna wear that turtleneck. I'm gonna be dying. I'm gonna have to walk around like a fan or something. It's like, I'm gonna need to move to Alaska, and I want to go to Arizona. So anyway, so I don't know. Maybe I'll knit something that I can wear short for a very short period of time, and then my girls can inherit it or something. But I think I'm gonna buy a little bit more of this, and then I might buy it in black, so that Cecilia can have leg warmers. But I got this, it's originally $20. I got it for $7 a skein.
Wow, that's awesome.
So anyway, so Annie and Company, everybody join them on Facebook because that's where they announce all their sales. And
on Facebook, not Instagram.
Well, I think they do Facebook too. But I don't do Facebook, Instagram. Join them on Instagram. That's where they announce everything. And I'm telling you, it's like you're sitting there looking at like, I can't pass this up. I bought a sweater's quantity of yarn for $25. Like, where do you, how do you pass that up? How do you, like, you knit the darn thing and you wear it 6 times. And as my mother would say, you wear it 6 times and then you throw it away, because it doesn't pay to wash it because the soap is too expensive. So anyway, so that was my I had fun this weekend. I was live streaming while I was washing dishes and checking out what yarn they're selling. So anyway.
Fun. I have not bought any yarn other than my super simple summer sweater.
Yeah.
No yarn.
No, I know you've been on a yarn diet.
Yeah,
so what are you gonna knit next?
Entering my house. I mean, I have multiple sweater quantities to.
What's that? You've got blue and then you've got green above the blue, and you know me with blue and green. What is that you have back there?
Let's see.
What's the
where?
The second shelf up from the bottom.
Second shelf up from the bottom.
Yeah, what's that green? Right, to the right. No, that's no. Right.
This one?
No, down one. Down one. Down one. Over. Oh, no, to the right. My right. That one. Yes, down. Touch that green. No, up.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
Oh, the shelf that you were on before. There, it looks like it's green.
This one?
Go down. Yes, that one.
Okay, so this is hilarious. I have had this yarn for
I love that.
5 or 7 years. And so I don't have a whole lot of it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's Madeline Tosh. And so I just bought this, maybe 4 months ago to hold it together to make my daughter like a ranunculus.
I love that.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of this, and the colorway is different now. The Madeline Tosh
Yeah.
colorway is different now.
When you say you don't have a whole lot of it, how much do you have? Is that it?
I have like 2.5 skeins, maybe 2 skeins.
And what is it? Is it the vintage or the?
No, it's the single. What's it called?
What's the weight?
Fingering.
Oh, you could make, oh, Jeanette, that would make such a pretty yoke design. Like,
Yeah. I put a little bit of it in my Vertices Unite,
yeah.
but yeah, I think it'll be a good color for my daughter. So
The
that's
ranunculus. Yeah, that would look really good in the ranunculus.
Yeah, I asked her if she wanted that or a rocket tee, and she chose the ranunculus. So
yeah,
I'm not sure this is a Shibui yarn. I'm not sure this is the right.
I don't think it looks bad.
Yeah, I actually took this to the yarn store, and this was the closest.
Sure.
Unless I wanted to go darker. I'll have to swatch it and see what it looks like.
You know what? It's funny that you say that, because I think I have a yarn that might work for you. I don't know. It might be a little bit too green, like not acidy enough. But I can get it to you and you can see. But I love that green, and the blue that's right below it is really nice too.
Oh yeah, this is felted tweed that I've had forever.
What is it?
Rowan felted tweed. I've had it forever.
Yeah.
And I want to make a coastal crop raglan out of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is yarn. I bought it last year.
I remember that yarn.
Yeah,
I
need
love
to use
that yarn.
it.
Jeanette, that color is gonna look great on you.
I know, it's beautiful. I need to use it.
You do.
I have so many sweater quantities. I need to get knitting. I'm telling you.
I know, right? Well, this rain that's coming, it's coming in a like an acid green, and it's 100% cotton, the Shibui rain.
Oh,
and
cool.
So I might make the ranunculus. I have not waded into the ranunculus waters at all.
And I haven't waded into the Love Note waters.
Did I make Love Note? Wait.
You did.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I did. I'm telling you, one glass of wine at 4:30 in the afternoon. Yes, I made the Love Note, and I'm really happy with that. So, okay, so maybe that's our next knit along or something. It's you either do Love Note or you do
ranunculus.
Although I don't think we'd have a lot of people doing either, because so many people have done both. So
I mean, I've knit 2 ranunculi.
Ranunculi. And they both came out great. They looked great.
I love them. I actually like the short sleeve one better than the long sleeve one, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm thinking very much yarn, and it's a quick knit. So
right. Well, and that's that. Between that and then I have this one. I don't know. I'm coming up with a couple different summer sweater knits, because I'm going to be spending 5 weeks in Salt Lake City this summer. So yeah. Well, Cecilia's going to be dancing at Valley West. So I'm going, and we've already got our Airbnb, and I found the knitting store, Blazing Needles. It was like the second thing I did, like right after she got in, and I found the Airbnb. I was like, so where's the knitting store?
We order our coffee from Salt Lake City. It's my favorite coffee.
What is it?
It's called the Jack Mormon Coffee Company. And anyone who's Mormon right now is not subscribing. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Okay.
The Jack Mormon Coffee Company, but they have very good coffee.
Well, we'll have to do a podcast while I'm there, and
and you'll have to check out Jack Mormon in
and
person.
I'll drink some Jack Mormon coffee, because I don't know that Well, wait a minute, but wait, I'm sorry. It just occurred to me. Duh, they don't drink coffee.
Right?
It took me a few minutes. They don't drink alcohol either. So I'll see if Jack Mormon has a beer.
I think you can get out. I think they have like the state-run liquor stores, you know, you can
Yeah,
buy
the
Wisconsin
ABCs.
Days and all of
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure. I mean,
We'll
like,
have to stock up.
yeah, you know, worst comes to worst, I'll have my wine club subscription sent there for a little while, but anyway, it'll be fine. So yeah, so I'm gonna spend some time knitting there. Should be
That'll
fun.
be fun. It's always
Yeah,
nice to experience something new.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, we had a great time when we spent 4 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was, 3 weeks up in San Francisco. I mean, it was a little closer to home, so we could see the family in between. This will be a little bit more difficult. I was realizing I can't plant anything because it will die because my husband will.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like he will give it a try, but you know what? He's going to have his hands full taking care of the dog. So, anyway. So, yeah.
You're in the background.
Yes, both of them keep walking through. They keep Coconut, what are you doing?
Both of them.
Well, I keep saying yours. Lucy.
I was like, you have two dogs?
Yeah, no. Lucy keeps walking through like down your hallway, and then Coco will walk through.
Yeah, we're getting our floors redone in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
New hardwoods?
Well, that hardwood that you can see is new, and then the old and the new are all going to be refinished and stained the same.
So. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, say hello. Come here. Oh, she's looking for a treat. Say hello. Oh, say hello. She just.
Oh my goodness. Gratuitous dog shot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take care, everyone. Stay safe from pandemics coming.
Yes. And hopefully, when are we gonna? Okay, so when are we gonna podcast again? Are we gonna podcast like right before?
Oh, you have to tell people if they want to. I don't know the details about if they want to join, what they need to do.
So if you want to join or knit along, you either need to post a photo of your project, like in process. It can't be a finished project. That would not be fair, because then that would mean that you've knit it, like you could have knitted a year ago. So a project in process. And then finished too by May 1st, right?
And on the same post.
Yes. What do you think? On the same post? I think that's right. I think that would work.
Yeah. And then also on Instagram.
I've never done a knit along. You know more about it than I do.
What's the hashtag that you said on Instagram?
Knit1sip2 is the hashtag. And you can post it in our group, Knit1sip2, in our group on Ravelry. I started a group specifically for simple summer, whatever it is.
Awesome.
So
hopefully by the time we podcast next, I'll have mine underway.
Right. So we'll probably do like one more podcast, and then the podcast after that will be the wrap up for the knit.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Excellent.
I don't know where I'll be come April, but
where do you plan on being?
Well, I'm going to visit my sister in Wisconsin.
Right.
After I have my second vaccination, and she's all vaccinated. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, we can always podcast from the road, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we're doing it via Zoom now. It doesn't really matter that we're only, a few minutes away from one another.
Maybe you and I will actually be sitting next to each other podcasting soon.
I think so, because I'll be fully vaccinated here in a couple of weeks. So.
Right. That would be nice. So.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
Care, everyone. Bye, Coco.
Bye, everybody. Say goodbye. Bye.
Happy knitting.
Bye.
Happy sipping.
Yeah, happy sipping. Take care.